And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, we've got a lot to discuss, as you can read there in the title. Some transfer news, one in and two out. Yes, we'll get to it. But one of those actually is kind of breaking news. We're also going to be discussing, of course, the upcoming Dundee game. But as always, guys, jump into the live chat if you're watching this live. If you're watching on a replay, get involved in the comment section as well. But let's start with the transfer news, as you are all here for it. And as stated, a bit of breaking news for you, as there is some stuff coming out regards to Serial Dessers. Yes, oh, that was the wrong one. We'll get to him later. Serial Dessers, of course, a man that does split opinion, has done for a very, very long time. And a player that's not really playing that much, considering Hamza Egerman has come back into the has come into the fold and showing that he's definitely got to be our number one sort of player. However, guys, reports in Italy this evening are stating that Caligari are renewing their interest in Dessers after previous attempts made in recent years. They are currently evaluating whether to take concrete steps soon. Serial is currently wanted by multiple clubs within Europe and is considered for sale by Rangers. So yeah, Caligari, the Italian side, are very much interested into the player, and yeah, that comes from very, very good sources. Serial Dessers, I mean, if we can get any money for Serial Dessers, then I am absolutely delighted. I'll be absolutely delighted. Serial Dessers, for me, I've been saying it for a very long time, isn't good enough for Glasgow Rangers. He isn't the striker that we need at this football club and isn't going to get better anytime soon. So, as you can see, troops, that comes from good sources out in Italy. Caligari, again, sorry for my pronunciation on his name, I'm probably butchering it. But yeah, Caligari are a side that are actively monitoring the player, and Italian sources are stating they could be making concrete steps very soon, and also stated that there are other clubs within the league that, not in the league, in Europe, that want the player. So that's Serial Dessers, that's him sorted out. Now this next one isn't necessarily, yes, I know I put two out, but again, a lot of Rangers fans anticipated potentially that Rangers would go on and buy the player in the summer, but links have came out for this man, Václav Černý. Of course, we do currently have him on loan. Yes, I know that he's only on loan, and yes, we don't have the damn right to buy him, nor do we have an option to buy him, actually. But there is interest from Villarreal in Václav Černý, and of course he's came out and spoke about the situation in his homeland, about playing for Rangers, about what his future holds for him, etc, etc. He said, "I'm playing a season at Rangers without any option to buy. I have to say that I've completely let go of thinking about returning to Wolfsburg now. I'm enjoying it here immensely. I don't think what will happen, there will be a time for that towards the end of the season, when things start to settle down. After the season, I have a 2-year contract at Wolfsburg. If the tug of war starts then, it's no longer in my hands. If I was convinced that I could keep a place, my Wolfsburg, so I wanted to show my quality and even bigger club than Wolfsburg. It's going well at the moment. I know how football works and I know what the situation is at Rangers and what the possibilities are. But it's not up to me to comment on that soon. I just have to give it my best on the pitch and help the club to achieve success. I'm just focused football and family and life in Glasgow, which is hectic in itself. I wouldn't want to waste my time thinking about something I can't control. It's hard to describe how big Rangers are, the tradition, the background. It's a giant. It's really nice to experience this again after Ajax. A great experience for my career. The intensity is thingy." So as stated, Rangers don't currently have an option to buy, but of course Villarreal are a side that has emerged that want to try and land the player following, or well, it hasn't really disclaimed when they want to land him. Again, I think we've got this agreement for the whole of the season, but I'm thinking towards the end of the season. It's been said about Černý. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on all of this. Actually, no, I'll give you my thoughts on Černý now. Černý, I think, is a fantastic player. I think he's probably been one of our better signings of the summer transfer window. I think we've not necessarily got any great player. Well, we've got a few good players. Hamza's great, but our recruitment in recent years has been absolutely woeful. And I know he got a few pelters from the fans. He went through a small period. I don't think that we was doing much, Václav Černý, but from our attacking intent, it always comes from him, and I would love to see him back at Glasgow Rangers next year. But as stated, reports stating he wants to go. Villarreal are wanting the player. Now, this one's going to be slightly controversial because... Oh shit, I keep getting the wrong player up. Sorry, my images are not too good. Yes, this one has emerged on social media. Nikola Katic. Nikola Katic apparently interested or linked with a move back to Rangers. Now, again, I've been seeing this one on social media, currently at FC Zurich. And of course, I think his agent came out and spoke about the situation, but said that there's a few clubs in England that are currently interested in him. And of course, that if Rangers were a side that would come in, then he would definitely make the move and he would choose Rangers as his first choice. Now, just before I get into this story a bit more, do let me know your thoughts on Katic down there in the comment section below, and let me know if this is a player that you would want to see sign for the club. As stated, let me know in the comments. But as stated, he's currently contracted at FC Zurich until 2026, and it is said that Katic is looking for a move this month, and a number of championship clubs in England are showing interest. The report states that Katic has made it clear, though, to his representatives that Rangers would be preferred as destination if a deal could be struck. He said Nico would like it a lot if he could return to Rangers. We are currently in negotiations with some clubs, one also from England, but if Rangers knock on the door, there would be the priority for Nikola. He still has 18 months left remaining on his contract, but if they're meant for him to return for Rangers, he will definitely be there. Now, I found this one a bit weird, obviously, because, Nikola Katic, again, Right, how do I put this? How do I say this? How do I say this nicely? Again, I haven't been following Swiss football. My girlfriend is Swiss, so I do keep a little eye on the table now and then. But I don't necessarily think the Swiss league is that good. And I think when we've had players that played for us or bought players from the Swiss league, they've never really turned out to be well. And it's not a real good success story. I mean, you just have to look at Cedric Itten. The time he left us, he went straight to Switzerland and become like the best player in that division. And there's just so many kind of stories of that. And again, I don't like to mock Switzerland because I do think it's probably the best country in Europe in terms of the way it is. In terms of the country, it's absolutely beautiful. But I don't think the Swiss League is that good. And there's something I think with Rangers fans romanticizing. It's probably not you guys here on YouTube, but I see it on Twitter. I mean, I'm seeing people like get the big man up the road and all this sorts of stuff from these kind of like faceless Twitter accounts. And again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but there's something within the Rangers fan base about romanticizing about sort of players that weren't that great for us, whether that be Ryan Kent back in the summer. I mean, people saying, "Oh, let's get Ryan Kent back, bring him back." I mean, the guy's like not really played for 18 months. He was an absolute disgrace in the final year at Rangers, and people wanting him back. And I think people have the same memory of Nikola Katic. I think people have this memory of him scoring that goal at Parkhead back in 2019. And yeah, just love him for that. And yes, he'll go down into not necessarily folklore as such, but he'll always be remembered for that. He provided a very memorable moment. But do I think Nikola Katic is the answer to our defensive line? Absolutely not. I'm sorry, but playing for FC Zurich for me doesn't warrant a move back to Rangers when he couldn't get into the team. He really just struggled to get into the team, and I wouldn't be for that. I just think I hate this backward steps, and I hate this sign of romanticizing about former players that were quite utterly a disgrace like before they left. And he's not the only one. I mean, Katic wasn't a disgrace, by the way. Katic was always a guy. But I mean, Ryan Kent, I've seen that one this January transfer window about people romanticizing about that. Heck, Morelos. People will probably ask Morelos to come back. I just don't get it. I think you should always look forward and move forward. And for me, Nikola Katic wouldn't be the signing that I would want. But then again, I'm not the director of football, nor am I in charge of Rangers transfers. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I mean, could there be a possibility? Yes. I mean, it's definitely being linked, and there's something there with the agent speaking about it. But I just couldn't see Rangers making that move for Katic. But then again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see with regard to it. I mean, I don't get it personally, but that's my opinion. That's genuinely my opinion, but yeah. Let's have a little look what people are saying on this one, because do let me know your thoughts on Katic, by the way, because I know it's probably divisive, but I don't know. I just don't get the romanticizing over it. It's not like the guy came in and did so much. You know, he was a young guy. I don't even know how old he is now, to be fair. That's my poor research. But let's have a little look how old he is quick. Katic, Nikola. As I said, he didn't follow his career, to be fair, since he left. I mean, he's 28, man. Jesus. He's played 18 matches in the Swiss Super League this year. Yeah, fair play. Look, he's playing games. I mean, that's I suppose, quite good. He kind of knows the club. But, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But, you know what? If that's what we've identified, then whatever. You know, I would obviously support it, and I would support the guy. But, you know... I mean, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Sorry, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. With Cyril Dessers, though, I definitely... Yeah, Cyril Dessers, John's asking 2 in, 1 out. No, it's 1 in and 2 out. Sorry, it's not 2 in, 1 out. 1 in, 2 out. The other guy, one of the persons that we spoke about earlier, depending on when you joined the live stream, is Cyril Dessers. Italian sources are stating that Caligari are looking to make a move. Would you be guys open to making letting Cyril Dessers go? Can we afford to let Cyril Dessers go this January transfer window? And how much would you be wanting for him? As said, Cagliari, I can't even pronounce the name, I'm sorry. Caligari are looking to try and sign him, apparently, according to decent Italian sources. And then, interesting. Alan Austin says Big Balogun will give Clermont a decent reference on Katic. You're right, Dan. Everybody remembers that goal at Celtic Park. Yeah, I know. Again, look, I don't want to begrudge other Rangers fans. I mean, like, everyone's got their opinion, and you know, if that's what they are, I mean, people probably hate my opinions most of the time, but you know, that's the beauty of football. We all got different opinions. I just don't get the romanticising of former players. Yes, obviously, former players like Ali McCoist and Brian Laudrup and all these guys. But I feel like bang average players that just like kind of come up that didn't really do much for the club, like Kent. I mean, the last year Ryan Kent was at the football club was an absolute disgrace, and people were like that. Yes, we need to take him back in open arms after 18 months not being able to play for a lesser team than us. It's like, what? Why would you want Ryan Kent back at the football club? I don't get it. And Katic, for me, he's not really done much. And again, I'm just going to say to the Rangers fans that are wanting Katic back, he couldn't get into the Rangers team, and we were on bare bones. I mean, I can't remember, a time, but that season where he scored the header, I think he was in exile pretty much when we won the league. I can't even remember his career that much. I'm sure he wasn't a part of our title-winning team. I'm sure he was out on a loan that year. No, he wasn't. No, he was with us. He must have been injured. I think it was an injury, because I don't remember him playing much in the league title win. Yeah, he was out for the whole season in the league title win. So he didn't really do much for us at the time. I don't get it. And then, does anyone watch Swiss football? Be honest with yourselves. Do you actually sit there and watch Swiss football? Again, I'm not going to make out that I'm some genius with it, because I don't watch Swiss football either. But I suppose I kind of, with my girlfriend's family all being Swiss, I do keep an eye on it. But come on. Have you watched him play for FC Zurich and everyone just jumping straight onto it saying, yeah, let's bring him back, let's bring it back? And as I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but have you really watched him? Do you know he's good? And I just think the Swiss league isn't that good. I mean, Cedric Itten is a perfect example of someone that couldn't play for Rangers, went to the Swiss Super League and was the best player in the league by a country mile. So, yeah, that tells you what you need to say. But if we're in dire straits, I suppose he's better than Leon King. I suppose he's better than what we've got if it's an emergency one. But I'd be looking to try and sign someone for the long term. I'd go down the loan system. Whether Johnny Evans. I would take Johnny Evans. If it's just a quick stop patch, just for January to May, then I'll take Johnny Evans for 6 months for sure. Why not? I think that would be a lot better option than Nikola Katic. But again, Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Guys, that's all I've got. Do let me know your thoughts on all of those ones that we discussed today, of course. How would you feel about Katic coming back? How would you feel about Dessers leaving? And how would you feel about Rangers not being able to sign Václav Černý as he's currently linked with Villarreal? That's been the live stream, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. Look after yourselves. Take care. Peace.